Hi, welcome to the Canadian City and Southern Model Railroad. Today's little video is about building a livery stable. This is the beginning of the next project for my layout. It's a livery stable. It's got board and bat siding all the way around, and I've used Tichy windows because I have a bunch of them for the office area. The main doors will still need to be framed out and the actual doors made. The left side roof and the right side roof, and a bit of scrap balsa for the ceiling of the office. This is the office. It's very basic, and I'll stain it and paint it and maybe add a few little interior details, very sparse, before it's installed. And this piece here has been scribed and will be cut to length for the windows to the stall, which will simply be hinged and propped open with little sticks. Now it's time to start the painting. The inside will be a light brownish gray wash, and the outside, of course, will be barn red. A little quickie desk has been made. It'll be painted burnt umber and glued to the floor of the office. The interiors of the livery stable have all been stained with a light brownish gray wash. They'll lighten slightly as they dry further. The office area and the roof have all been stained on all sides. And I'll let them dry. And then a few extra little details will be added, and the final building can be assembled once the exterior has been painted barn red and the glazing for the windows has been put in after the whole building has been dull coated. The outsides have been painted barn red, and the piece of wood that will make the windows for the stalls, that's been painted barn red after being scribed. I printed a small picture of a horse, and I photographed the National Model Railroad Association calendar for 2026, but that's so small it barely showed up. And then I made a little faux desk for the office. I'll get that glued in next. I also made a bunch of hay bales. I made those just out of some squares of balsa wood, 3 feet long by 1.5 by 1.5. And then I filed little grooves with a triangle file. And then I tried to put some static grass on them. And that didn't work out so well. But while I was sanding the balsa wood to size, I noticed that the sawdust from the balsa wood kind of looked a little bit like straw. So after filing the grooves to represent the string that ties the bales together, I put a tiny little bit of carpenter's glue around the edges, avoiding the little grooves where the strings would be, and then dip them lightly in the sawdust. And I'm letting them dry, and once the glue is dry, I'll go ahead and spray them with dull coat so that they stick better and don't shed. Then I can put some of them in the false attic area. I've only built enough of this for what will show through the door in the front, since the rest of the building will be dark inside because the stall areas won't be lit, only the office. So only what bales will show through the bail door in the front will be needed inside, and I'll pick the 3 or so best of the bales and I'll glue them to the ground outside. And once all that's done and it's been dull coated and the glazing for the windows is in place, then I can glue the roof on and draw the lines that will be a guide for when I put the shingles on. The windows have been put in. 3 of the 5 have been left open and the other 2 have been closed. The door to the attic, to the hayloft, has been put in place, and some hay has been put around inside, enough to where when you look through the door, you'll be able to see a few bales in there. The roof will cover that, and that's not going to be lit. Only the office is lit, and the LED for it has been put in place. The office has been glued in, and the ceiling for the office has been put in, and the glazing in the windows has been installed. I haven't put the front and back doors on because I still haven't decided whether to have them sliding doors or hinged doors. I want them to be able to open and close, so if I make them hinge doors, I'm going to have to make some very small operating hinges. I'll have to print those, and I'm not sure if that's going to work. Now I can put the roof on, and then I can move it over on the layout and start getting its area where it's going to be positioned ready. This is the area where the new livery stable is going to go. Back in those pines back there. They'll have to be cut down and moved. Also, probably wouldn't hurt to get the caboose out of the way and maybe pull a few of those other trees, because the ground will probably have to be cleared and leveled a little bit back in there. Now I can start preparing the area back in there where the livery stable will go. Somewhere back in there, and as you can see, I'm going to have to do a little bit of work on the scenery to get the area all ready. Getting closer, nearly there, but I'm going to have to build up the ground in front a little bit and make the slope down from the front doors a little more gentle towards the street. I'll do that by cutting a piece of foam and shaping it to nearly fit the existing scenery, and then covering it all with a thin coat of plaster and dirt. But that's for another day. The location has been finished up as far as leveling and everything, and carving the styrofoam and getting it all to blend in. And some little bit of plaster work was redone. And it's been blended in and stained. And some dirt has been sprinkled around. And a little bit of green blend ground foam to blend everything back in. 3 of the hay bales have been glued down. And you can see that some of the dirt is slightly darker. That's because the wet glue water hasn't thoroughly dried yet. But it's been dry enough and it's been vacuumed. And over in here, there's a little ravine, an old stream bed that I've kind of carved down and made it to where the horses could actually walk out that way to get to higher pasture. However, I haven't put the barbed wire fences in for that yet. A hole has been cut in the ground here to where the wire for the lights will go. Eckhardt's livery is set in place. The lights aren't hooked up yet because the connectors underneath need to be soldered in, and I'll need to turn the module on its side to do that. The shingles on the roof haven't been installed yet, and again I'll do that later because I've got several other buildings that need their real cedar shingles added, so I'll do them all at the same time. The sign's been put in and everything is now in place. The doors are installed front and back. The windows have been changed to open sideways instead of up and down. 3 of them are positioned in the open position and 2 are closed. Everything is dry now, and the colors are blending much better now that things are dry. The hoist has been added, but I still need to hook up a pulley and some rope to that. Now that the hay has been unloaded, Brad is pulling the wagon away. Cooper and Cody are probably up in the loft stacking the bales. Well, thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share, and we'll see you again next time.